You need split-second timing and sharpshooting accuracy to join the FBI. Have you got what it takes? Prove it. Use your zapper light gun to shoot the gangsters in the FBI lineup without hitting the innocent bystanders. Hit the gangsters and you'll score enough points to move on to the next location. Hogan's Alley. Here's where the going gets rough. The gangsters pop in and out of windows, doorways, and shadows and are visible for a shorter amount of time. Beat the gangsters this time around and you'll move on to the trick shoot round. How long can you keep the tin cans hopping in the air? Keep them up there long enough and you'll score enough points to become a full-fledged agent in this exciting Nintendo light gun game. This is Hogan's Alley from Nintendo in 1985. One of the most fun light gun games I have ever played. And one of the best rated NES games ever. I am still, to this day, 1985, remember, 2013. This is several years between. This game still ends up getting rated well over 90%. Well over 90%. Part of the Black Box series from Nintendo, it was one of the first games to use a light gun as an input device. Hogan's Alley is an FBI training camp tool to train new recruits. The game flashes cardboard cutouts of innocent civilians and thugs in front of the player, and we must react quickly to take down the bad guys and spare the innocents. The innocents? Yeah. The game flashes 3 cardboard cutouts of a mixture of bad guys and innocent civilians. In Game 1, Game A, the player needs to react quickly to shoot the thugs while sparing the bystanders and other friendlies, such as police officers. The game gets more difficult and faster as it progresses. The player never escalates to shooting real thugs and gangsters, but the scenery does change from a blank wall to a city scene with the cardboard cutouts. The game is available only as a standard upright, and the controls consist of a single light gun. This is the arcade version, I believe. This was a rather novel input device for a game of its time and added to the appeal. The arcade version was commonly found in Fuddruckers establishments across the USA. The real Hogan's Alley was a shooting range on the grounds of Special Police School at Camp Perry, training facility of the National Guard. The Special Police School closed during World War II. 1987, approximately 3 years after the release of the video game Hogan's Alley, the FBI Academy in Quantico, Virginia, established a small simulated city called Hogan's Alley to serve as a venue for training operations. Digital artist Corey Archangel, there you go, hacked the Hogan's Alley game to produce I Shot Andy Warhol, an art piece that replaces the game's targets with images of Andy Warhol. That's all it says for the legacy of the game. Hogan's Alley was ported to the NES in 1985 for home use. In the United States, it was one of the original 18 launch titles for the system. Here, there are 3 modes. Hogan's Alley A, which is the blank wall shooting range. Hogan's Alley B, which is the moving around town shooting range. And Trick Shot, in which we bounce soda cans onto ledges. It was also an April Fool's joke on IGN that the game would be ported to the Nintendo DS as part of the classic NES system, using a touchscreen as a substitute for the light gun. The announcement, however, was only a prank. Parts of the game, however, do appear in form of touchscreen controlled microgames in WarioWare Touched, which was one of which is a longer microgame, and the game's soundtrack is also unlockable for listening. This is one of the games that my uncle had, and we spent a lot of time playing this game. It is a really, really fun game. Doesn't emulate quite as well. You've got to be really spot on with your mouse if you're going to be playing this with an emulator to shoot the targets. But it's a lot of fun. The music, what little of it there is really nice. The graphics are clean and sharp as they were back here in the early mid 80s of the NES games, the Black Box games especially. Just a really fun game. It'd be fun to get a bunch of friends together and play it. Do so.